righty, we can go ahead and get started here. So, what's going on, guys? So, we're about to dive into a interview. Well, I mean, really like a conversation. Really, I actually didn't prepare any questions here. I think we can. This will be pretty smooth sailing from here. But yeah, we're about to have an interview, if you want to call it that. It's probably in the title. A conversation with uh, the man, the legend, Chris Stuckmann. What's going on, man?
It's going well, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Cool.
Um, so this is gonna be interesting because, like, I made the video about you, and then surprise, I was blown away that you actually responded. I was blown away. I'm so curious how my video even made it to you.
Well,
Um,
my mother-in-law watched it
oh,
and then sent it to my wife,
oh,
who then sent it to me.
oh, that's deep. That's deep. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, so I gotta tell you though, like right off the bat, man, um, I could tell it was coming from like a place of love.
Yeah.
You know, like you were genuinely like concerned if I was okay, and it kind of touched me a little bit. I was watching it, and it's easy sometimes you get in a string of like doing reviews, and you're doing reviews, and you're doing videos, and videos, and videos, and sometimes you can kind of forget about connecting with people, and it just kind of reminded me that people do care. Like,
Yeah.
you seem like you genuinely were concerned that I was okay, and so I wanted to reach out to you and talk to you, and we Skyped a couple days ago, and
Right. Right. Yeah.
but I just think it'd be good to just kind of like let people know that everything's cool. It's just
Yeah, I've been struggling with the title of this video. Like, is it an interview? Is it a conversation? Is it like a Chris Stuckman life update?
no, no,
I don't know
no,
what
no,
to.
no,
Uh,
not a life update. We're just
yeah,
talking. Like
true.
I was, I felt very flattered. You said some things in the beginning about how you've been watching my channel for a long time, um, and that you felt that kind of like over the past like 6 months to a year that I was kind of I seemed a little depressed, maybe a little bit out of it, just a little bit,
Yeah,
you know, like I was going through something or whatever, which, you know, it's true and not true. I mean, I think it'd be cool to just be really real
yeah,
right now as best as I can. And if someone were to ask me, like, Chris, are you depressed, or do you deal with depression? The answer would certainly be yes. I have dealt with it. Most members of my family have been clinically diagnosed with depression and have dealt with it for most of their lives, and so it's definitely in my family. And
yeah,
I go through periods in life where I feel down, or I feel like I'm not as inspired as I was, or have been. And sometimes, honestly, and any of your viewers who've dealt with depression will tell you
yeah,
that there isn't necessarily even a reason. Sometimes you just don't feel like yourself, and it happens.
yeah. It's almost like you sort of like get caught in a rut, or like you like ruminate over like a certain memory or something like that, and like you just boom, you just get like
Yeah.
pulled pulled
And
into like.
sometimes it's just the weather even. Like, I mean, where are you from?
So I'm from St. Louis,
Okay.
born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, and
Okay.
I've been staying in central Wisconsin for a few years. So it's funny they mentioned the weather because, like, one of my
Yeah.
main reasons, if not number one, for leaving central Wisconsin, which I did abruptly recently, was because of the weather.
Yeah.
For
The winters suck.
context, like I think around my birthday when I came down around January 20th, it was literally like days after that. It was literally reaching temperatures of like negative 50 in
Yeah.
Wisconsin. Yeah,
And for some people, the winter is like a trigger for that type of feeling too, where you're
yeah,
just like, ugh,
yeah,
this is just gross. But, you know, there were some things you said in the video that touched me. There were a few things I thought were maybe reaching a little bit.
yeah,
Um, but like there were things you said that I thought it made me think a little bit. It reminded me that people care. It reminded me that people, they want to watch my videos, but they also want to make sure that I'm good. And I'm one of the things you and I talked about a couple of days ago is how we're both kind of introverted,
Yeah, yeah,
and I do have a hard time kind of like sharing. You
yeah.
know, I don't.
Same.
So you deal with that too?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, as soon as you said that you were an introvert, I was just like, ah, a fellow member.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
man. Like, it's never easy for me to share, and so sometimes it's hard. But I think if I were to, I have actually made a conscious effort over the past month to try to be more passionate in my videos,
yeah,
because I felt that last year I was just not at all, not in a bad place. Like things in life are going fine, and I think you had mentioned you wanted to talk about filmmaking a little bit in this
yeah.
interview.
Hmm.
Things in life are honestly fine. My marriage is good. I have great friends. Some of my career goals are actually coming true.
Yeah,
Um, I think if I were to just boil it down to one thing, I'm overworked.
yeah.
I really am, man. I, and that's my fault. That's my fault.
Mm.
It's all my fault because I basically, to me, I think I bit off too much, too much to chew, really. Like, I wrote a book, last year, published it with the help of many great authors. Videos constantly, I've, for almost a decade now, I've made at least a video a week.
Yeah, yeah.
Over 1,000 videos. And after a while, it's like, damn, that's a lot of fucking videos, man.
Right, right.
But plus, I started getting into filmmaking like really legitimately. I started contacting the Cleveland Film Commission out here in Ohio, and I met with a lot of really great people, crew members and actors and cinematographers, gaffers and stuff. And we tried to make a movie, and we did make a film, Auditorium 6, and it got into festivals, and that,
Which is
just
awesome.
saying, it's great. Yeah, it was fun, but like just saying that though, like I said a sentence, but that was like a fucking 6-month thing, like of just planning and saving
Wow.
and screen testing and watching like hundreds of demo reels and meeting with people and location agreements because you had to go to the theater and make sure that they were okay with that, which meant insurance and
Hmm.
liability for everyone's that they were safe and
Hmm.
fees have to be paid and it's there are times where I'm doing all that and I'm like, God damn, I also have to review Alien Covenant. Alien Covenant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like, God damn, I was doing this thing and now Alien Covenant. And so sometimes, yes, you're absolutely right what you said in the video. There are times where I just I just was off. I was just it's just too much sometimes. And then on top of that, I decided to go to film school.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Right,
And
right.
that right there was like, God damn, dude, like I'm
Yeah,
fuck busy.
yeah,
And I started a Patreon. And so I got the podcast that I do with John Flickinger over there
yeah.
and and I think really that's entirely my fault. That's like just
Yeah,
too much.
I know some people had stated that you were on a podcast called like it started with the S, like Sardani or something like that. Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they said that you had said some things on there, which I'm not aware of, never seen or anything or listened to. But so they had said you spoke on there a bit. But yeah, there's definitely also been a lot of people who were talking about how you seem to be overworked for sure. Which
Yeah.
between writing like a book and like film projects and film school, Jesus,
Yeah. And
that
I think
definitely.
and that's my fault, that's my fault.
Yeah.
That's expecting, just too many dominoes to fall into perfect line and
Yeah.
it's unrealistic and I think that's just a mistake for me that I've come to realize is just it's just too hard to do all of that and it's
Yeah.
unrealistic.
And I know it's got to be tricky opening up because I have issues with opening up. Like in my last video, I like sort of opened up in a way that was just like, holy shit, that's a first, you know? Like it was really, really difficult. But I thought it would um, help heal people, so that's why I
That's good,
decided to
man.
do it. And
That's good, man.
That's something I gotta work on myself. And speaking of like the overworking thing and being like say like being on set and being like, oh fuck, the Lego Movie too. um,
Exactly. That's a perfect example, actually, because
let's talk about that a little bit because for me, like you know what, I think I'll be damned. I think I have a like a literal list. I can read you guys. They don't even know this, but just how backed up I am on reviews. It's so bad. Like okay, so the things I've been wanting to review but just haven't yet. Like there's a movie called Polar on Netflix with Mads Mikkelsen.
yeah.
The Killer Mike documentary on Netflix. The documentary Free Solo. Lego Movie 2. Punisher. Oh shit, Punisher season 2. Good God.
And that's like
Um,
what, 13 hours right there? Just the
yeah,
Punisher season 2 is like
yeah.
13 hours.
Cloak and Dagger season 2's around the corner, so I just blew through season 1 and wanted to talk about that, and she's like, "Holy shit!" You know, it's like I'm
Yeah.
lagging behind, but I don't mean to because I'm more interested in other video ideas. So it's like
Same.
I feel like me and you are at this bizarre or reaching like a bizarre crossroads where it's like, fuck,
I'm
like,
really feeling you, man, right now, man. I seriously am, and that's very much so my issue too, man. Is and I'm sure that most people who've ever tried to make a video can kind of at least sort of relate to this. Sometimes
mm,
you feel like there's something that you should make, but there's like something you really want to make, and it's just easier to do that thing sometimes than to,
yeah,
and like you said, like you felt, and there was a time in my life, and I feel like you have what I think you have 17,000 subscribers, I saw.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. There's going to be a time in your life, man, where you're going to sit back and be like, man, am I forcing myself to watch this season of a show that I don't really feel like watching just to talk about it,
hmm
or can I do something more productive? And sometimes that happens, and I've had to come to terms with that because I remember like back in '09 when I first started, I wanted to try to see everything,
hmm
and it was just impossible. But I kept forcing myself to try to do everything, and even now, I'm still trying to do everything. I'm like I
right.
just said, and I think that's a major flaw with myself is that I just try to put so much on my plate that I can't focus on the things that are necessities.
Same. Like I get like fucking scatterbrained. You
Yeah.
know, I'm like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, wait, I want to do this. Oh, wait, well, shit, wasn't I supposed to do this? You know. Um, do you think like maybe because I almost feel like man has because I started like you helped influence me wanna like make
Oh,
movie reviews
thank you, man.
like you, Jeremy Johns, and John Flickinger specifically.
Those
You
are all good
guys,
people.
you guys
All good
were
people.
you guys were like quite literally. If it wasn't for you guys, I don't even know if I would be reviewing movies.
Oh man,
Honestly,
thank you. Thank you very much.
there was a heavy influence, and I almost feel like shit. Have I? I don't know. I don't know if you feel this way sometimes too, but I'm like, man, have I kind of shot myself in the foot in a way? Because now I'm in this awkward position where it's like people know me as this reviewer guy, but it's like, well, wait a minute. I want people to know me as an artist. Like I did the reviewing thing just out of
Yeah.
love of movies, and that's just honestly how I critique things.
Yeah.
Um, even if I wasn't reviewing movies for the public, that's how I would still be reviewing movies if I was talking with you. I feel like I've almost like shot myself in the foot because I'm like, oh no, like the intention was not to be a movie critic.
It's really crazy, man, how much I'm feeling you right now. It's very, very much so a dilemma that I've been dealing with myself,
Yeah.
and I think anyone who's been watching my channel for a long time knows that I have an interest in filmmaking, and
Mhm.
that that started way before I ever decided to talk about Ponyo, which is my first review.
Wow.
Ever way before that, I was making short movies with my buddies
Yeah.
and experimenting with weird, crappy amateur movies that are terrible.
Which are amazing. Amazing. Okay.
Um, some of them are amazingly funny, yes. Um, But and so yes, you're absolutely right, man. There is a part of me that does worry about um, there's a transition
Mm,
that I think that people like you and me have to kind of make sometimes where
mm,
we're always going to love film. I mean, that's never going to go away. Like film, like when I go to a movie, it's just this safe, just like warm, inviting, even if it's a shitty movie, it's like it's nice to watch it and figure out if it's going to be bad or good or great.
right.
Um, but yes, being known as someone who critiques films is not my life goal. You know,
Right.
we talked a couple days ago on Skype, and we both kind of felt like we don't want to be like YouTubers only when we're 50. You know, like I don't want to just be only that. Like, and that's why I've delved into writing and schooling and things like that, and making these short films over the past 2 years since Auditorium 6.
Mm,
That's really what I want to do is filmmaking. I'm never going to close down my YouTube channel. You know, if let's just say, for instance, that you know, in some fantasy world, 20 years from now, I'm directing like a movie that I really want to make. Let's
mm,
just say it's 5 years from now. I'm not going to just close my channel. Like I would, if I couldn't see every movie that came out, I'd make vlog videos on set. I do like kind of like what Will Smith does. Like he made a Bad Boys 3 vlog, like
yeah, yeah.
with Martin Lawrence, and he took them to set and he showed them the directors and the cameras and stuff. And that's what I would want to do. I
Yeah.
would want to I would want to take the viewers on my personal filmmaking journey, So I think I'm just going through a bit of a transition where I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do
Hmm.
uh, with my channel and how I love movie reviews and it's fun and I'm not going to stop. I enjoy it even if I don't seem as energetic as I used to be.
Yeah.
Like one of the things we talked about a couple days ago was like let's say in my Force Awakens review when I got two lightsabers and I'm swinging them around and I'm screaming like a little boy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that was authentically me in that moment.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
absolutely felt that, and that was me. But if
Mm,
I'm sitting down talking about The Prodigy, for instance, and I'm saying, it was pretty good, it surprised me, like it
hmm.
was pleasantly surprised me. That's also authentically me. I'm never going to be someone that I'm not. Granted, you know, sometimes you come up with a funny joke and you want to be, you want to exaggerate the joke or something, like a sketch or something. That's different.
Yeah, yeah. And again, like I said in the video, it's not like your videos in 2018 were bad. It was just like, it's almost like I could sense that something was wrong somewhere.
You were intuitive to the fact that I was just incredibly busy and overworked, and
Yeah.
also like we just talked about, though it's not just that. It's that I am trying to make films and really trying to do it the way I've been recommended to out here, and that takes a lot, man. And sometimes it is hard. Like the worst of the year video, for instance.
Hmm.
It was the first year where I really sat back and I thought about it, and I was like, it just makes me feel kind of gross.
Mm.
And it was a tweet that I read from another critic, and she said that she hated worst of the year videos. She thought they were toxic and they did nothing for film, and they were just another opportunity for critics to shit on movies and make filmmakers feel like they're inferior. And
Wow.
I started thinking about that, and I was like, God damn, like that really that just hit me, and it made me wonder like what I was really doing on my channel. Am I actually a champion for film, or
Hmm.
am I just somebody who likes to talk about movies and they're bad and I make jokes? Like
Sure.
I never wanted to I wanted to get away from that sort of like uh, just anger when it comes to film. You know what I mean? I wanted to gravitate towards
Mm.
a love for movies, which is that's how I feel about them. So
Yeah, and I definitely like totally understood the. I mean, in fairness, I wish I had said this in the video, which is like you can do whatever the hell you want to do. You can just make videos about like sock puppets and the potatoes or something. But if you wanted
You
to,
may unsubscribe from my channel at any time as I make these sock puppet videos.
yeah.
Unsubscribe. Well,
But I always saw worst of videos because I do those as well. Like year-end videos. I sort of view those more so as like I see it more as it's like a tough love mentality. Like for me, if I made something that bad, in all honesty, I would actually appreciate something that's sobering. But that's just me,
okay.
because I'm around a lot of I'm around a lot of dicks, great people who are dicks
Sure.
for comedic effect. You know, we shit talk each other a lot.
Yeah, me
So
too, man. Me too.
it's like a tough it's like a tough love mentality. You know, that's how I
Yeah.
always seen it. You know, like if I made something that bad, I would love to have something that sobering to be like, woof. Well, I know what not to do next time. You know.
No, you're right. You're right. And to me, my opportunity to give that is the review. You
Yeah.
know, if I see 50 Shades Freed, for instance, and I'm like, look, I mean, what do you expect? It's 50 Shades of Grey, and
Yeah.
I explain why I think it could be better or whatever. Like that's my opportunity. To
Yeah.
me, for me, just doing the extra worst of the year video is like
Yeah.
another knock on him, and it made me feel a little gross. But
Yeah.
like you said, for you, that's how you feel. Like I was
Yeah.
talking to John Flickinger, and he was like, "Okay, man, I'm still making a worst of the year video." And I was like, because that's him though. Like
Yeah.
that's what he wants to do, and
Yeah.
it just wasn't what I wanted to do anymore.
No, I mean, I think that's a super solid point. I mean, for me, it's like, and another thing, it's like it's not like you're talking about. It's not like you're dragging like
Yeah,
Christopher Nolan's Interstellar or like Black Panther. Like you're dragging like like Sharknado, like below Sharknado movies. Okay, like
yeah,
I mean, in fairness to yourself, I
yeah.
mean, you're
No,
dragging
you're
some,
right. Yeah,
whew, some
I
stinkers.
understand. I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my goal right now is to. I have like this idea where because I really am trying with the films right now. I have Auditorium 6.
Hmm.
I'll give you like a little exclusive here.
Yeah.
I have recently signed a contract that would allow Auditorium 6 to have a limited theatrical distribution
Dude.
in a horror anthology with other horror shorts that will hopefully be released later this year and then pitched to Netflix. Um,
Dude.
I'm really excited about that, man. I was just about to put it on VOD. I was just about to put it on VOD, and I got this email from this company in LA, and I did like extensive research into them to make sure they weren't scamming me.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because that has happened before. I have had scam artists contact me. I'll tell you a story in a second. It's very funny.
Jeez.
Um,
All right.
and they're legit, and they're working on this anthology, and it would mean like literal distribution for my film,
Yeah.
which would mean my dream came true, man. And
That would be incredible, man.
so that's one thing that I'm working on, trying to get that in the pipeline. I have this new short, Notes from Melanie, and that's premiering in Cleveland on March 1st at the Short Sweet Film Fest, and I submitted it to about 40, 50 other fests. Hopefully it'll get into at least half of those, maybe.
Jeez. Yeah.
Um, half of them is good from what I understand. And that was my experience with Auditorium 6 as well. Getting into about half of what you submit to is pretty damn good. So
Hmm.
hopefully we can get into at least half or 40%. So that's taking up a lot of time because I just kind of finished work on it and I feel good about it. About a month ago I finished work on it.
Yeah.
Um, and I have a new one that I'm working on this summer called Penance, which is a dark horror short. And I've been scouting for a location because it needs to be an abandoned farmhouse.
Mm.
And like the difficulties with that is that safety, health,
Yeah.
because real abandoned farmhouses are disgusting. There's dead animals and
Hmm. Yeah.
just garbage and filth. So
Yeah.
we found a really damn good place though. That they're actually going to tear down soon, which means we can do anything to it. We can spray paint on it. We can break the windows. We can trash it, and
Wow.
it's perfect. But it took me a year, dude, a year to find this place.
What?
Yeah, you'd think there'd be more in Ohio, like abandoned farms, but
Yeah.
surprisingly, most of them are just unsanitary, like really unsanitary.
Mm.
So that's what I'm working on this summer, which is going to involve getting a pop-up tent for people to eat in, an RV for people to use the restroom, um, cinematographer, gaffer, sound, 4 actors. We have a scene inside a church,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a contact at the Ohio Reformatory at Mansfield where they shot Shawshank Redemption.
Wow.
I got to shoot my Shawshank review in there through this contact.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was really dope.
That was fun, man.
I
But anyway,
specifically told my buddy Sam, JBS, he's a YouTuber, when you shot your Shawshank reviews, I was like, holy shit, this dude is the goat, man. Like, he's the goat. He just did the fucking review at the like actual place where it was shot. That's insane.
I was like, fuck all the other Shawshank reviews. I'm going to the prison. No, I mean it was fun, man,
Yeah.
and so in that reformatory, there's an old chapel, like where the inmates used to go to church,
Mm-hmm.
and it's dude, it's so fucking creepy in there. Oh my
I
god!
bet.
And that's where we're gonna film those scenes, and so yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and like you said, like you said, you would like to be viewed as an artist, you know, and because you have ideas and you want to make things, and
Right.
that's the challenge is can you be a critic, can you be a film critic and a filmmaker at the same time, and it's
Can
hard.
can we? You know? Can we continue? I don't know because I feel like that's almost like a new sect or something.
It
Like,
is. It is. You're absolutely right, and that's kind of that's the way I'm viewing it. Is like we don't have to do exactly what people did before us.
hmm
You know, I mean, we can do it differently. We can. I mean, Tarantino, for instance, at the end of every year, he usually does like a best of the year list,
oh
or
yeah, true, true.
he talks about films, he reviews films, and I think
hmm
he even said he was like, if I wasn't a director, I'd be a film critic.
Mm.
So, yeah, I mean, I think if you want to do it, you can.
That's so challenging because it's like do I change my rate of uploads for reviews, you know, or like because like ordinarily speaking, like I think since oh god, I think maybe since like 2014, I've been trying to at the very least I like see him review like 60 films from that given year, you know. But like now as like I'm starting to because you know I want to be a filmmaker, want to make music, do magic, all kinds of crazy shit. Like, you know, as I approach those artistic points more, it's like I mean, shit. Like, can I really? I don't know. Like, can I really work on films and sort of review 60 films in like a timely manner? You know, I don't know.
Now you know exactly my dilemma. That is exactly my dilemma.
I don't know.
No bullshit. You know, no secrets. That's my dilemma.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do both, and because one of them is really my dream,
hmm
whereas the other is just really fun,
Right.
and so like I already have ideas for a way to sort of combine them. Like I would like to do in the future a segment on my channel where I sort of invite people to see whatever is going on with production on
hmm
whatever it is I'm working on. So like
Yeah.
when we go to the farmhouse and we start spray painting it and we start setting up the props and everything, like that would be a really cool vlog video. Like, hey, look, this is what we're working on here, and then you know once the film gets made, you could take all those and create like a mini like making of almost for like a Blu-ray or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
To invite the viewers to come and see like what I'm working on, I think could be really fun, and it could. I feel like that's always kind of what I've wanted to do is like, for instance, if that horror anthology that I talked about with Auditorium 6 in it
hmm
gets to DVD and Blu-ray at Walmart and Target, like I'm being told it will,
Yeah.
I want to make a vlog where I go to Walmart at midnight and have them take it out of a cardboard box and hand it to me, and I can be like, look, this is like the product of something we worked on.
Right.
Like
Right.
this is it right here, and so that's something I think could be cool, and maybe you could do something like that too. Like just sharing your thoughts and your ideas, and just like kind of combining what you normally do, and sort of just easing it into like, hey, I'm also working on this, and maybe you guys might want to know what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, like at the current time, my art is kind of like it's like sprinkled on top of the reviews, if you will, and like a mound of reviews. Because I even do like album reviews. Lord help me, but
Nice. Damn,
it's
dude, you're doing it all.
trying. Um, I don't know. Like for me, I was thinking like, what if I? Well, first off, before I even go there, like I think the vlog idea would be great. I think that would be
Thank you.
fascinating.
Thank you.
I would love to see you emulate like I loved with M Night Shyamalan. I don't even know if he ever did this before, but I loved what M Night Shyamalan did for Glass, where like there's just these incredible amount of tweets
Yeah.
that are basically like production notes, or
Hmm.
like behind the scenes esque, And I thought that was just brilliant because as someone who was just like chomping at the bit to see Glass, it was so satisfying, It was
Oh,
like,
trust me, I was too. I don't know if you can see it, but I have my Glass poster right there that
oh
I'm.
my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
I'm gonna
Glass
be,
poster, that same one is like literally right behind me, behind the bed. But
I'm gonna be putting that up soon because that's my favorite one.
is that split to your left?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I really appreciate M Night Shyamalan a lot. I was actually dozing off to a podcast he did recently where he was talking about his failures, which was like so inspiring, man. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, like to think that there was almost a point where he felt like, man, this could have been it for me. I was just like, whoa,
Yeah, I saw an
shit.
interview with him in Philly, where
Mhm.
he went to like a school or something, and he was like, there are two ways to describe me. He was like, you could describe me as somebody who's made billion-dollar thrillers.
Mhm.
You could describe me as someone who sold his, Sixth Sense for $1 million. You could describe me as like this super successful filmmaker, but also I've been on the list of top worst directors of all time,
Yeah,
and he was just super super sober about it, like
yeah,
it was really cool to see him just honest like that, and it kind of made me think too, you know what, failure's fine.
yeah.
You have to make films so you can fail and learn how to be better, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, cause like I'm super like self-critical. Like I'm fortunate. Like I'm one of those people who like ruminate, like would just to like think about a thought or something bad that happened like over and over and over again. And you're thinking that's like a good thing, but it's really a bad thing. And it was just extraordinary that like he was just so at peace with these failures.
Yeah.
Like last year, I felt like I really lacked on like album reviews and like I didn't even have time to put up like a worst of vid. Like I barely had time to put up like my best of video. You know what I mean? I had a goal at the beginning of the year to like review like 100 films, and like I think I hit like 60, 70, something like that.
That's
You know,
good. That's
and
good.
right,
That's
yeah,
really good.
it's still good. But yeah, I would definitely like to not be so self-critical.
I'm the same way, man. I think really anybody who wants to create something, they are, and if you're not, that's not good, because I mean, I think you need to be your biggest critic,
Yeah.
because you need to look at what you're making, and every other second be second guessing it and thinking like, what could be better here. And um, I've one of the biggest helps I've had is professional script writers, or excuse me, professional script readers.
Mm,
Uh,
yeah.
there's a lot of services. Blood Notes is one. They specialize in horror thriller, and it's all very private. And I've sent them two of my feature scripts, and gotten great feedback on them, and really helpful stuff. And that was something that really kind of changed the game for me, was just trust in professionals. You do have to pay for the service, unfortunately,
Sure.
but that's normal. I mean, you're paying somebody to read
Yeah.
100 pages or something, and they're giving you like good feedback,
Like
and that
legitimate feedback.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, like I for my one feature script, I got 5 pages of notes
Hmm.
and then a full annotated screenplay, my screenplay with thought bubbles on every point he wanted to make that you can mouse over, and then there's like a paragraph of his thoughts on that, and it's
Oh
just
wow.
so fucking helpful, dude. And that really kind of changed the game for me, was trusting in other people to essentially review your work and tell you what you can do better.
Yeah, that sounds kind of intimidating because for me,
It is.
like
It is.
the
It's
kind
terrifying.
the kind of films that I want to tell are very like surreal and like mind bending. Like I told you a bit about my second feature film, which a lot of people don't know, but it's like a female fighting film. And I told you a bit about the plot, and it's like,
Mhm.
man, to think of someone like reading that and sort of like critiquing the story is very
Yeah.
intimidating because for me, maybe like faces are blurred out or something, but like I know exactly what it looks like.
Sure.
There's missing sections because stuff is under construction narrative wise, but like I know what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
So that sounds very intimidating, but a great idea though. A great idea.
It is intimidating. It's terrifying, dude. Like when I first sent my script to them, I was just biting my nails. It was like a 5 day waiting period. And I was like, oh God, every day I was like, they send it back to me, send it back to me. Did they do it?
Yeah.
And on the fourth day, I got it back, and they fucking loved it, man. Like they loved it.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
but they had, really good feedback for things that could be better
Sure.
to
Sure.
to improve it. And so I think you always have to take like that leap where you have an idea, and at some point you have to give it up.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, like the hardest part. You ruminate about this thing for months and months, maybe even years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you even get to shoot it, and maybe you even get to edit it.
Hmm.
And then even still, at some point, you got to get rid of it, and you have to give it to people and
Yeah.
say, here, I hope you at least connect with this the way that I connected with it.
Yeah.
So
It's also challenging because like there's a lot of different kinds of films I want to do, and a lot of them, unfortunately, are very, uh, they're very expensive. I didn't mean for them to be, but like they're just almost like inherently expensive. So it's like even if someone like loved the script, it's like oh shit. Like I was saying before, like there's this idea for Cleopatra that I've
yeah.
always wanted to tell. Because I came up with this idea for the ending that's just like I've never seen something like that before. But at the same time, it's like, God damn, like a film like that would need like, I mean, we could be talking like $100 million for all I know.
Yeah, and maybe that's your magnum opus. That's just your greatest masterpiece achievement that's in your head, and maybe you can't make it right now, but maybe you
Hmm.
make something smaller that's like a stepping stone to get to that. Because like
Yeah,
Nolan, he didn't just make Inception. Like he
sure,
made The Following, and he made Memento, and these
sure,
tinier, smaller films that were just genius ideas.
yeah,
And then he got to make, Batman Begins and all that. So, I mean, never give up on those ideas. And I think you
hmm,
should. I think you should write it the way your brain sees it.
hmm.
Even if you don't think you can make it, you should at least get that out there, because maybe it's fucking great, dude, and the right person reads it.
Do you think because for me, I get so worried. Like to me, like I don't have any tattoos, so for me, like my stories are my tattoos. And I get so worried about like, man, some maybe people ever see this. Do you think so? Like I've been trying to find ways to compensate for that. And like I was telling you before, I thought like, what if to kind of save some of these ideas, like what if some of these large scale ones were in one medium first, and then shift them to the film medium later. Like,
Yeah.
what if Cleopatra was like a visual audiobook or like a graphic novel first, and then shifted to the film medium when there's like a lot
I
of
mean,
praise or a lot of love for the story.
that's totally an option.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I mean, any way that you want to express your art is an option.
Yeah.
If you want to if you want to do that and you feel like you have the resources to do that, or at least, you feel like you could get the people together that need to make like a graphic novel or something. And
Hmm.
the internet is a beautiful place. You can self-distribute anything, or you can you can make query letters to send to
Yeah.
publishers too. I mean, I think that's totally a viable option.
Wow.
I've drawn comic books when I was a kid, and even into my 20s, I drew comic books. I've never shown anybody them.
Wow.
Um, but that's if you feel like doing that, you should just do it. Like no one should ever stop you from expressing yourself through an art form. It should never ever be a question for you. If you want to do it, you should just do it. And
Wow.
I know that's a cliche thing to
Yeah.
say. I know it is. I know it is. Just get out there and do it. Just. But it, I guess the question I always ask myself is, what the fuck is stopping me?
Mm. Yeah.
You know, what's stopping me?
Well, that's really great advice because what I was gonna say was like, should I like not do that? And it's either it's a film or it's the hell with it, like with compensating in that way, almost be a waste of time. But that's interesting that you're just like, yeah, no, 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 try that too. Shit, but yeah,
Dude, I think I think life is short. That's what I think. I think at some point in time, you might look and say, "Damn, I wish I did that graphic novel."
yeah,
I wish I did that audiobook or the visual storybook.
yeah.
Because there's many things that I wish I had done in my teens, or in my 20s that I didn't start doing until I was late 20s. And so
Yeah.
I think if you have an idea and you want to do it, that there's nothing stopping you from, and maybe the process of creating that, say, graphic novel might inspire you with different ideas.
Yeah.
Just the process of creating is going to make you think of other things you can do with it too.
Mm.
I think in my experience, I have a billion ideas in my head, and sometimes I don't feel like starting on page one,
Right.
but once I do, it's like a volcano. It just starts erupting, and ideas flow, and they just appear. And some of them are shit, and some of them are good.
Yeah.
But that's the game, man. That's the game.
Mm. Yeah. Gosh, yeah, because that's really awesome that you said. That was really great advice because I don't want to end up, and I'm curious what your thoughts on this are as well for yourself, but I really don't want to end up in that, that Stanley Kubrick, Napoleon situation where, you've, everything's set, or even like, Alejandro Jodorowsky's Dune, which is
Yeah.
good God, what an idea. But
Right.
where everything's storyboarded, you scout out the locations, everything seems like you got the go ahead, but then the studio's like, no,
Hmm.
we're not going to let you do this, and then it just falls apart. And Stanley Kubrick, he had to move forward with the fact that he was just never going to make it, and it's like
It's a nightmare scenario for sure.
and for me, it's like that's just not an option. I mean, granted that can happen, but that concept of like leaving just abandoning it, like it's just like some house or something, and it's just like left behind somewhere. I just can't do that, and that's where the idea for audiobooks and graphic novels came from.
I understand that, man. I do. I think
And I didn't know if you like have that fear ongoing, or you come to terms with that fear.
I've come to terms with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Because I, I guess an idea doesn't expire. It's always going to be accessible.
Mm.
Whether or not a studio at one point in time doesn't help you make something, it
Hmm.
doesn't mean that there's an expiration date on that idea. It's still there. It's still viable. It's still possible. I do
Mm.
understand what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
Getting to a place, doing all that work, and then nothing comes of it.
Yeah, it seems like every filmmaker, all the greats, they have that one extraordinary one that slipped through the cracks. I think for Christopher Nolan, I think there was like a Howard Hughes film idea that kind of slid through the
Right.
cracks, and I don't know, that type of stuff. Just like I definitely have not come to terms with this because that type of stuff freaks me out.
No, I get it. there was an idea I had for a film, and my mother actually came up with the story, and I had evolved it into this big thing,
Mm.
and I mean, I was ready to go. I was ready to write it. I was ready to just tear into this fucking awesome idea. And then there was this like BBC murder mystery episode of some like Miss Marple or something, and it
Yeah.
was like the exact plot. I mean,
Damn.
but I had never released it anywhere, so it's not no one that couldn't have been stolen.
Sure.
But I mean, it was like the exact plot, and I was like, well, there goes that. And yeah,
Mm.
so I've and that's a different experience though. Like that's not like I got to almost financing something. That was like we had this great idea, and then this episode of something did the exact thing, and
Sure.
okay, it's been done. Can't do it now. Oh,
Yeah. I've had that happen a few times with reviews actually in a way where like I'll say something and like coincidentally like Jeremy Johns had said something like
yeah,
super similar.
yeah.
I'll never forget there was like this one time someone in the comment section was like trying to like call me out like why are you copying and like Jeremy Johns said something in his review about
That's such bullshit, man. No, dude. Here's the thing I fucking hate,
and I
man.
hate when that happens. Yeah.
I hate it too, and the reason I hate it is because people think that channels that have a lot of subscribers, they said everything first. And
Hmm.
they said it so no one else can. That's
Right.
fucking bullshit, man. It doesn't matter if you have 10 subscribers or a million. We
Right.
all can have the same opinion on something. That's stupid. I hate when because that's happened to me before. I've had people be like, "Oh, I'm sorry I said this thing in my review. I didn't realize you said it, Chris." And I was like, "That's fine, man. Like unless you stole my intro, stole my music,
Right.
re-uploaded my video,
Right.
like like you're not copying off of me if you have a similar opinion.
Right, like I think he said something like he made like a Michael Myers reference or like a Jurassic Park reference, and coincidentally I said something similar, but it's like it did look like Jurassic Park, like that character was like Michael Myers. You know what I mean? It's so weird.
Yeah,
I just think sometimes like reviewers almost like they like sync in a way unintentionally.
sure.
Like when Star Wars: The Force Awakens came out, I remember someone just like gave me shit because I think I had Force Awakens was my favorite film for 2015, but it
Okay.
was like a synergy thing going on. Like it was a similar thing I think for you and I think for Jeremy Johns and some other people, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's like no man, I don't know what happened to your point, but like no, it's
Yeah.
just some weird something in the air. I don't know.
And I
That's the
think
only thing.
I think that's a problem that YouTube film criticism has versus written film criticism because I mean there are countless film critics primarily in print
Mhm.
who pick similar films for their list and nobody cares. Nobody says, "Hey, so and so copied off so and so from the Chicago Sun-Times and the New York Post." Nobody says that. But if a YouTuber says a similar joke that another YouTuber said, then it's
Mhm.
like a top comment, like, "Oh, you stole that from so and so." It's like, no, it just happened. It's like
Yeah.
we're all talking about the exact same film with the exact same directors
Yeah.
at the exact same fucking time. It's going to happen. It's not like a conspiracy.
And not to mention, like if you watch like if you have like an eclectic taste in film and you're watching like a lot of films,
Hmm.
I mean, and especially if you're like really nerdy or geeky, I mean, the odds of like certain reviewers having vague similarities are just bound to happen. I
Of
mean,
course.
like
Absolutely.
that's so weird to me.
Yeah, you can always tell if someone is like legitimately stealing an idea versus just someone who thinks the same.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Um, and I guess to go back to reviews really quick, I think maybe what I might try doing for myself maybe is like, because it's interesting that like when I was asking about reviews, I had asked you specifically like, do you think there could be a day where you might just not abandon the channel, but abandon like video reviews? And you were immediately like, no, and I thought that was really
yeah,
striking.
I have no plans to.
Yeah.
Like, you know, here's the thing. The only thing that I think would really stop me from doing that is if I legitimately didn't have the time.
Mm. Yeah.
Because it's fun, and it's enjoyable. I like
Right.
talking about film. I mean, I've said this before, but I started my channel not knowing how YouTube worked. I
Same.
didn't know you could make money. I didn't know you could be monetized.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't make a cent for 3 years. And I was still seeing a movie a week. And so, like, I like doing that.
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm able to support myself now is just an added bonus.
Yeah.
So I think I have no plans to do that. But like I said, if it came to a point where I just didn't have the time anymore, like let's say I get to really do what I want to do, which is make films full time.
Right.
Obviously, I wouldn't have the time, but I
Right.
would still keep my channel, and I would make the
Hmm.
videos be about the film sets, and like little video diaries of what's going on with the film and like how production's going, and just share that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I could ever shake the reviews either.
It's fun, right?
Even though it could make things easier legitimately, but yeah, I don't think I could shake not the movie reviews. No, I don't think I could. So I think for me maybe I might just have to do some weird thing where it's like maybe one week it's like review week and like one week it's like filmmaker week or something like that. Like maybe like 1 month it's like all right, how many movie reviews can I bust out? And then like the other month we're just focusing on like I don't know vlogs and filmmaking or something. I
For
think I
sure.
might have to go that route because I don't know that there's any other way. I don't know.
I think that's I think I feel like your viewers that genuinely like appreciate what you do and
Hmm.
want to know what you're up to, I think they'll like that. I think that it's like a nice little window into what you're trying to do.
Yeah, because I'm telling you right now, and I guess letting you guys know right now. Not only is that a very probable future, but like I just don't think I can continue like this many reviews while also operating at a whether I'm working on being a magician or filmmaking or music. I don't know about the whole simultaneous thing. I
It's
don't know about
difficult.
that.
It's a definite challenge, man, and that's very much so where I've been over the
Yeah.
past year because making Auditorium 6 was a dream, dude. I loved
Yeah.
every minute of it, but it was a lot of work, post production and sound mixing and all these things that I had only ever done very small scale before by myself. But then now all of a
Hmm.
sudden I'm working with a crew of 15 people,
Yeah.
and they're all looking to me for direction, and
Which
it's
is awesome.
daunting. It's
Yeah,
it's awesome, but
yeah,
it's daunting.
yeah,
And with the second Notes from Melanie, it's the same thing. It's just a lot of time and planning, and I haven't even mentioned that I'm married, and that's a big thing. Like
yeah,
I can't just not spend time with her. Like she needs to feel like she's cared for and loved too. And if I
yeah,
am constantly doing everything else, then I'm not being a good husband, which is my number one priority.
yeah, yeah.
So
Um, I one thing I think would be really cool to see from you. I think it would be awesome to see your main channel, like incorporate like these sort of like vlog, like behind the scenes
yeah, that's
types
what I
of
want to do.
videos. That
I
would
don't
be
want to. I'm
awesome.
not starting a second channel.
Yeah,
I'm not starting a second channel. There's no need.
yeah.
That's something I'd like to try to do when I get the opportunity. And
Yeah, because the trailer for Auditorium 6 is, I mean, that debuted on a different channel, right? Or no?
yeah, because I started I wanted the production company to have their own channel.
Okay,
Uh,
gotcha.
just that's typically how it's done. Usually is that there's a production company. In my case, a very independent one.
Sure.
It's usually it usually has their own little location. But like for vlogs and stuff like that could totally be on my main channel for
Yeah,
sure.
I think it would be super fascinating to see like you like laying up reviews and then maybe there's like this little break and in that break there's like these really cool behind the scenes videos. I think that would be fascinating, you
I'd
know.
love to do that, man. And I was thinking I might take a couple cameras maybe to like the premiere for Notes from Melanie in Cleveland on March 1st because it's local filmmakers night, and so all the films on Friday are going to be from Ohio,
Hmm.
and so there's all kinds of people there I know that I've gotten to know pretty well over the past couple of years, and it'd be kind of cool to just be like, hey, here's this filmmaker who's trying to get his project off the ground. Here's this filmmaker, she's trying to get her project off the ground, and
Hmm.
just sort of like support the indie scene, because a lot of people talk about independent film
Yeah.
and they talk about movies like Drive.
Yeah.
You know, to me, like real independent film are these people who are here, like making movies with a shoestring budget that they got together themselves. And to me, that's true indie cinema.
Yeah.
Um, and I like supporting it. I like being a part of it. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's awesome, and I think doing something like that would definitely slowly get people to slowly sort of reinterpret you, and like they're just like,
Sure.
like your reviews, but like now it's like, I mean, maybe there could even be like a generation in the future who view us as like strictly filmmakers, where it's like people from our
Who knows?
past review us as like this reviewers, you know?
Who knows? And to be honest, I kind of stopped caring about like how I'm viewed. A
Hmm.
couple of years ago, I just was like, I don't fucking care. I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna do what I have to do,
Right, right.
as a person to make myself feel comfortable, and that's also a challenge too, is where you get to that point where you're like, you know what? And we talked about this a couple of days ago, and Jim Carrey's a big inspiration for me.
Same.
He he talked about how he had to sort of just just light his whole house on fire,
Mm.
metaphorically, and people want him to be Ace Ventura all the time, and he doesn't want to be Ace Ventura all the time,
Yeah.
and he has other ideas. He wants to paint. He wants to talk about politics. He wants to, talk about education and things like that. And he said, you have to risk alienating the people who have shown you the most support,
Mm.
hoping that they understand this is you, and this is what you are, and that they actually support you, and don't just want you to be Ace Ventura all the time.
Yeah.
And that really struck me. I was like, God damn, like that's really deep. Because yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Ace Ventura, I love Dumb and Dumber, I love Liar Liar, I love, those movies, but I also love The Truman Show, and I like what he's trying to do, and how he's trying to reach people through his paintings,
Yeah.
um, and so that's something that I just kind of struck me, and I feel like you and I will both have to go through something like that at some point, where we just kind of reevaluate what we're doing, and try to be our authentic selves.
Yeah, because I feel like and it's probably a great place to, I guess, maybe end off on, is that one of my biggest fears is sort of like, because right now, well, I mean, I suppose both of us recently, we've been in that mode for reviews where we review in a timely manner.
Hmm.
Like when I went and saw Glass. Fortunately, I barely even got in there, but I got to see Glass early. I went to that Shamalamathon or whatever the hell it was called.
Nice.
It was like a week before or something. It was at the Alamo Draft House, and they
Oh wow,
they
yeah, I heard about that.
screened they screened Unbreakable, Split, and Glass like all back to back, basically.
I'm jealous. I would love to see it. I've never seen Unbreakable in a theater. That's I'm jealous.
Oh wow, yeah, that was such a moment, and then it was literally like from like, and there were intermissions, but it was like from 11 a.m. to like fucking like 6 p.m. Man, like it was insane,
Wow.
like the entire like 300 minutes, But I just ate it all up, loved it. It was like almost
Yeah.
like a life changing moment, if I'm being totally honest. But this concept of reviewing things in a timely manner, I guess that's something we're just gonna have to abandon. And that I've been thinking about that a lot recently. It kind of freaks me out, especially for someone like me who's at a very lower threshold when it comes to like viewership and traffic. Um, but it again, it just seems like there's no other way but to abandon that. Or I mean, I don't know.
I think for me, like I think I'll definitely enjoy doing the movie reviews in a timely manner,
Yeah.
but it helps. I'm able to go to the press screenings, which definitely helps me. And that's something you should look into. You said you were able to. Have you ever tried getting into press screenings or?
Well, when I was living in when I was living in Wausau, Wisconsin. It was a bit tricky because I had to drive
Yeah,
like 3 hours on my way. But yeah,
I know what you mean.
there's definitely been instances like there's definitely been instances in the recent past, like with Alita, Battle Angel, got to see that early. I think with like La La Land, I got to see that early. So there's been moments, but they've definitely been fleeting. Hopefully that changes now that I'm in a bigger city. But um,
Yeah, I don't know what places out there. Allied Integrated is a
mm,
very common. I'm not sure if it's where you are, but that would be a search I would do to see if you can
hmm
contact them because they've gotten a lot more lenient when it comes to video reviewers. Because when I first tried to apply, they were like, "No, we only do print."
oh, wow.
And for like a couple of years, I was waiting in line at screenings for like 3, 4 hours before they started, and
hmm
uh, it was really just until like a year and a half ago I started getting 2 years ago I started getting press seats. So
hmm
yeah, I mean it's a journey, but it's one worth taking in regards to doing reviews.
Yeah, I could definitely look into more press screenings. And I know you said like if you couldn't, and then you can't. But that's fascinating that for you it's like no, I would actually still like to, no matter what, do it in a timely fashion if I
Well,
could.
I feel like if I didn't, I would be betraying them.
Mm,
My viewers who would like to see those videos. And no, I'm not going to be able to review every movie that
sure.
comes out. But like, I'm not going to skip like Star Wars. I'm not going to skip Avengers Endgame. But like,
That's a good point.
but
Yeah.
there's just certain movies sometimes where I'm just like I saw Cold Pursuit with Liam Neeson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you know, I couldn't. There was like 4 movies out that weekend, and I was like, okay, this is the one I just can't get to.
Mm,
And I still got to review Lego Movie too, which I'm going to do tomorrow.
same.
It's just it's just like sometimes there's those movies where and I think you said you wanted to end, so I'll try to wrap it up. But like
Sure.
have you ever had that experience where like you see a movie and you're like, yeah, that was good, but what do I really have to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like sometimes you just see a movie and you're like, yeah, it was good. I just
Yeah.
don't know what else to say.
Yeah, like I saw a movie Apostle last night from Christ Gareth
Gareth Evans.
Evans, yeah. And I was like, I don't really. It's weird. It's not like the movie was like bad per se, but I was just like, I don't know if I could do a full video review on
Yeah,
this.
you got it. My
You know?
biggest problem is animated films.
Mm.
Sometimes it's like, okay, well, the animation was great. The kids will probably like it.
hmm
Uh, like it's hard sometimes to come up with like a lot to talk about when it comes to animated films, unless it's like there's these like the first Lego movie, for instance. I was like, holy shit!
Yeah.
Like I have so much to say. This is like so. But the second one, I enjoyed it.
Same.
You know,
Yeah. I
I
actually that's hilarious.
enjoyed it.
I actually don't have that much to say about the Lego Movie too.
Exactly.
Spoilers for my upcoming review, but like I was just like, like I enjoyed it. It
Yeah.
kind of bizarrely felt more so for like if the first one was like for adults and for kids, it felt like this one was kind of just strictly for kids.
Same.
And
Same. Yeah. Same.
that's kind of it. Not
Same.
much
And by
more
the
I'd
way,
add.
and for your commenters who think that when you and I both say that thing that you copied off me, he didn't copy off me.
Yeah, I did it. Damn it! All right, I did it. Okay.
He didn't copy.
um, Gosh, but no, that's a really good idea. Maybe I can move towards not trying to be timely with every because like I try to be or ordinarily I try to be timely with every damn review, and then it's like oh shit, then comes
Yeah.
procrastination and all kinds of shit. But maybe that's not a bad idea. Because it's like, oh yeah, well, Endgame, I got to do that in a timely fashion, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's only going to help you too. It's going to help your channel, get bigger, to get it up as soon as you can. But
So yeah, maybe
um,
just for like certain big indie films and uh, big studio films, maybe do those in a timely fashion. Everything else is like,
it's up to you, man. You
yeah,
got to do. You and I both. You said something at the beginning of the video that you made. You said, this year I decided I was just going to do videos I want to do. I don't
yeah,
care. I'm just going to make videos I want to
yeah,
make.
yeah,
That's how I feel, man.
yeah.
That's
Um,
how I feel, man. And I think we can do that.
Yeah, yeah, and it's it's so wild to think like I mean very casually, but I had off and on been like, oh, what if I made this video about Chris Stuckman, you know? And I've been so intimidated by that because people just they're saying that people misinterpret things easily in today's time is an understatement. So like,
Sure.
I was
Yeah.
just like, oh no, fuck it,
No,
let's not do it.
I could tell it came from a place of love, and that it
Yeah,
wasn't like it wasn't hateful or anything. I could tell.
yeah,
So that's cool, man. But I legitimately, I've been inspired talking to you, man. I feel really
yeah.
like you made me feel good, dude. Like you really did, and I really appreciate it. Like seriously.
Yeah, I feel really inspired too. I just want to go pick up a camera and just go run somewhere. Start
Good,
getting to work, you know, work on my
good. Then
fucking film.
I've done something. I've given something. You know, and you for me too, man. I really do feel you reminded me that people give a shit, and I appreciate that. I really do.
That's awesome. Oh, a great place to end off on. Actually, we have to talk about this. What the fuck? Okay, so like Shane Carruth, I've been telling you about. I've been obsessed with. Right.
Hmm.
I think this is really going back into fanboy memory here, but I think you've seen Upstream Color, if I'm not mistaken.
I haven't, but I have seen Primer.
Oh, Primer. Okay, gotcha. I knew you had seen at least one of them, but and so A Topiary is a film that he never got a chance to make, and like he tried for like years to make a topiary, but he just couldn't get it off the ground. And he even had people like fucking like Steven Soderbergh and like Ryan Johnson like be like, yeah man, like you can do it, you know. And it just sort of just fell through. He just couldn't get it financed, and
Hmm.
he just abandoned it, you
It's
know.
surprising. It's surprising to me because I you sent me that link and I read the write up of like what it was about and
Yeah, I
everything.
wanted to get your thoughts on that, especially for us Shane Carruth fans. I was just
I
fascinated to
was
hear
like,
your
that's weird.
right,
That's different. Like that should be made.
right.
Granted, 245 pages for a screenplay is pretty insane.
Intense.
But I was like, that is something I would want to see. Why hasn't that happened?
Right.
You know?
And I was just like, man, I was just like, to this day, I'm sorry, Shane, but to this day, it is the saddest sort of like film abandonment that I've ever really heard of personally.
It'd
Um,
be like for you, I imagine it would be like for me, like if M Night Shyamalan and you too, if M Night Shyamalan just was like, I'm gonna skip Glass.
oof, oof.
I'd be like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
So yeah,
So it's and this is gonna be a good segue, but before we get there, like, yeah, I was just like, I cannot believe he just. I was just like, no, why didn't you crowdfund? And then you never know, you never know.
yeah.
I know the script is out there for people to find, and my God, is that a thing to try to comprehend? It's fascinating, but like, it's like, why didn't you try to crowdfund it? Why didn't you try to like, storyboard it out like Jordowski or maybe like a graphic novel? Like, just wait, what? You know? Because it just sounds so. It's one of those types of scripts that make me feel like Jake Gyllenhaal in Zodiac. You know?
You get obsessed with it. You want to like
Yeah,
peruse every page, and you start
yeah,
like having cold sweats and stuff.
yeah. And I guess, well, I don't know. I guess maybe you wouldn't have I don't know. It seems like you would never. If it seems like if you had something like, because he even did like a little bit of CGI work for it. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, I
Um,
read that. I
and
wouldn't want to do that. No, if I got that far on something, I
you
wouldn't want
wouldn't.
to just throw it away. No,
Yeah,
I would want to.
that was the segue. So you wouldn't abandon it.
No, I would definitely do everything in my power to get it made.
Mm,
I mean, like if you got people like Ryan Johnson and Steven Soderbergh who are like, "Hey, this is cool,"
right,
like you're already over the hump that most all filmmakers are trying to get over.
right.
You already got like powerful people on your side.
Yeah,
So just keep pushing, you
right.
know? So
I was so
totally agree.
I was so struck by that. And again, you never know. There's a chance he might a light bulb might go off and he might still try to make it because it's been a considerable amount of time
Yeah.
since he sort of left it behind. But
And it could be a situation like we talked about with Jim Carrey. Maybe he just like Jim Carrey was like, I'm not feeling the Ace Ventura. I want to do this.
yeah,
Maybe he just got burnt out on it and he was like,
true,
you know what? I don't feel this right now and I don't want to
true,
make it until I feel it. Maybe that was it.
true. I definitely know that feeling. Actually, there was a film I had tried to get off the grounds. called Ocean of Grey, which was supposed to be my second feature-length film, but it was like just the more I worked on it, it just didn't happen, you know. But I still
Yeah,
want to do like a really cool video about the concept because I can't just like let it die. Like that's just I just can't do that, you know.
for sure.
Gotta keep it alive. I think.
You
We'll
you
try.
should, man. You should, man. You should do anything you can to get your art made.
Yeah, and by the way, your videos on like your past like homemade films, you know, like that first film that you made.
Yeah,
Like I get where you're coming from when you're talking about like the negative technical aspects of those films,
yeah, yeah.
but those videos were and are incredibly inspiring. You know,
Thank you.
I think that's really cool to know that like there's someone else who started because like my first feature film, it's got like technical flaws and stuff, but it's cool to think like, man, like he totally gets it, like he was there, you know.
That's my life, dude. That's
That's
my
pretty
life. And
cool.
there are hundreds more just like it that you will never, ever, ever see.
That's awesome.
I will burn the tapes before anyone sees them. I will, I will trash those things so quick.
Yeah,
No, I mean, there's and that's the process. You have to just create and create
yeah,
and get through all of those trash movies and those trash screenplays to
yeah,
get to one where you're like, you know what, this might actually be okay, and
yeah.
I'm gonna try to explore this idea, and I think anybody who really wants to can.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, I've really enjoyed the conversation.
Dude, me too.
I really got energized from this fucking conversation.
Me too, man. I feel good. Thank you very much for this, and thank you to your viewers too for listening and watching. And
Yeah.
seriously, like I feel that was really cool.
Like there's been so many points in this conversation like man I really got some new ideas or like renewed inspiration, you know.
Good, good. I'm glad.
That's awesome. I'm really looking
Good.
forward to your short films or
Thank you.
any of your upcoming films. I'm very fascinated to see what that's gonna turn out to be.
Thank you, man.
um,
We worked hard on them.
yeah, I know. I don't know if I can say that, but I'm very looking forward to seeing them. I think
Yeah,
that's gonna be awesome. Gosh, I can see now. I gotta find a way to talk with my boy John Flickinger. That's the dude
yeah,
right there. Gosh
yeah.
damn.
He's a good guy.
I relate to that dude. Specifically his humor. My God, we're on such a similar plane. It's crazy. But
Yeah, he's a dark motherfucker.
how far does he live from you, John?
Like a mile and a half.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Are you serious?
yeah,
What?
yeah. He like lives down the road.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he moved up here and got an
What?
apartment. Yeah,
For some reason, I thought like John was just like a 6 hour drive from you. For some reason,
he
I thought
used to
like
be. He used to be,
oh,
but
he used to be.
he
Okay.
moved he moved up here last year. That's how we were able to do a lot more videos and stuff together because now he's in my town. So
What? If you don't go beat on that motherfucker's door and be like, make some more videos, goddamn, what you doing? Shit.
we've had that conversation a few times.
He's so good. He's so good. He's such a gem. Anyways, I could talk to you all day, but I really enjoyed talking to you, and look forward to talking to you more in the future.
Thank you, man, and I really appreciate this. This was cool. Thanks very much.
Yeah, awesome. And with that, guys, I'm about to peace out of here before I overheat. Over and out, guys.